Aloha! And pardon me while I move stuff around just to make sure the mic is in an optimal position. Ugh. Alright. I think we're good. Welcome. This is itsavgbltpta. That stands for I totally suck at video games, but love to play them anyway. I'm Veggiepeta, because that's what I decided to name myself off the channel. And this is Hakuoki, Stories of the Shinsengumi, and we are playing Harada's route. And we are on chapter 3. If you haven't been watching so far, you're going to be very confused, but whatever. And if you have been watching, you know that basically I have a little bit of commentary here and there, but mostly it's just me being the narrator and letting the voice actors do their own thing. Alright, so chapter 3, Starto! The seasons changed and spring came. Kyoto was filled with the cherry blossoms and the whole city took on a festive atmosphere. Surrounded by the gentle cheer of spring, my footsteps felt somehow lighter. Okita watched me prance about with a crooked smile.
いいよ、急がなくたって。どこか行くあてがあるわけじゃないしね。散歩だと思ってゆっくり行けばいいよ。
Okay, I'll be careful. It seemed to me that it was dangerous for a captain of the Shinsengumi to think that when he was out on patrol, but I didn't dare say anything to Okita. Then again, things have been pretty quiet lately. Perhaps he was right. No, I told myself. I had to focus. Now was not the time or the place for high spirits. Nearby, I noticed a few ronin who slunk off into the side streets at the first glimpse of the Shinsengumi. How suspicious. Why run away unless they knew they were guilty of something? I stared after them intently and must have looked as if I was about to give chase, because Okita gave a bark of laughter.
あのね、いちいちそんなのに反応していてもしょうがないから。
Really?
もし本当に聴衆あたりの患者だったら、もっと堂々としているはずだよ。僕らの姿を見て慌てて動くような連中は、正直言って雑魚かな。
I see. I didn't.
少しは悪さをしているのかもしれないけどね。逃げた理由は、大方この羽織が目に入ったからだと思うよ。
The uniform's gotten pretty famous around Kyoto, hasn't it?
逆に目立って困ることが多くなってるけどね。
Sorry, adjusting my chair and trying not to run over the headphone cord. Okay. It was true. The Shinsengumi blues brought recognition, but that was a double-edged sword. Sometimes they commanded obedience or respect, but sometimes the response was less pleasant. Their uniform had become a symbol, but there was some argument among the Shinsengumi as to whether or not they should adopt a new uniform. Some people, such as Ito, just felt that the uniform should be changed because it wasn't fashionable. Is Ito back from the Imperial territories yet?
そうみたいだね。帰ってこなくても一向に構わなかったんだけど。
He went to go recruit some of his friends and acquaintances, right?
っていう話だけど、果たしてあの人どこまで行ってきたのかな？
How far? What do you mean? If he went out past the Imperial territories, then he must really care about the Shinsengumi, right? After all, to go that far would be quite a trip to make just to get more recruits. Okita, however, didn't seem to think so.
君はそう思ってるんだ。
Am I wrong?
違わないけどね。
Okita stopped and gazed off into space for a moment. When he spoke, it was to himself.
近藤さんは優しいからな。伊藤さんなんて早く切っちゃえばいいのに。
Okita! He had a tendency to talk of killing too easily and too lightly, but how could you joke about killing one of your companions? He let his eyes slide to mine and gave me a small sigh.
どうしね。
The scorn in his voice wasn't for me, it was for Ito. Ever since he had first arrived, Okita and the rest of the captains had never seemed to like Ito much, but I was surprised that he would say something like that where anyone could have heard. I glanced around to make sure no one had been paying attention. What? There, in the crowd, a face I'd seen before. Kaoru? The face that looked back could easily have been mine. There was no way I could have ever mistaken that face. but no sooner had I spotted her than she disappeared, melting into the crowd. Kaoru!
ちょっと
He made a grab for my arm, but I'd already moved out of his reach. I might get in trouble for it, but if I didn't go quickly, I'd lose her. Sorry, Okita! There's something I have to do! I caught a glimpse of his confused face as I ducked into the crowd. ... ...
勝手な行動は慎めっていつも言ってると思うんだけど、まったくこっちの身にもなってほしいな。
Pant, pant, pant. I love text descriptors. I ran through the crowd as fast as I could, bobbing and weaving around citizens going about their business, until at last I caught up to her. She was Kaoru, no mistake. Kaoru, do you remember me?
新選組の人と一緒にいた人ですよね。覚えてますよ。
She looked surprised.
急に声を上げて追ってくるものだからびっくりしたじゃないですか。
I'm sorry about that, but there's something I wanted to ask you. I realized belatedly that I didn't know what I planned to do with her answer once I had it, but I knew I had to ask. One of the Shinsengumi saw a girl who looked like me at the Sanjo Ohashi Bridge a while ago. Could that have been you?
さあ、三条大橋は普通に通るところですよ。そこに行って何か問題でも？
She laughed politely. Oh.
もしかしてあなたが聞きたいのは夜に行ったことがあるかどうか。
Could it be? Could Kaoru really have been the girl who interrupted the Shinsengumi that night? If it was an autumn night and you got in the Shinsengumi's way...
もしそうなら問題大ありだね。君には死んでもらうことになるけど。
Oh, Okita! I hadn't realized he had caught up with me so quickly.
あら、新選組の沖田さんじゃありませんか。いつぞやはどうもありがとうございました。
She bowed, but Okita didn't even seem to notice.
で、答えはどっち？心当たりはあるの？ないの？
Okita wore the same half smile he always did, but his body was as tight as a bowstring, ready to have his blade in hand at a moment's notice.
死んでもらうなんてそんな怖いことを言わないでくださいな。三条大橋なんて昼間は誰でも通るところじゃないですか。それに夜なんてあの警察騒ぎで怖くて近づけやしません。
It was almost as if she'd read my mind.
なのにただ顔が似てるというだけで私を疑うなんてひどいです。そんなことは知りません。
Oh, of course, I understand. She looked so sad, I felt I had to say something. I knew it wasn't you. After all, how could a normal girl do anything to the men of the Shinsengumi? Okita seemed less convinced. His eyes shifted to me.
どうしてそう思うの？女の人だから？それとも自分と似てるから？
No, that's not it. I couldn't bring myself to admit that he was exactly right. I'd assumed Kaoru couldn't possibly have done it simply because she was a girl.
もう行ってもいいですか？それじゃ私。
Kaoru... She turned and ducked away, disappearing back into the crowd. Had I done the right thing, I wondered, in covering for her? I was pondering whether or not I should give chase again when I heard Okita begin to cough. Okita? Are you okay? He was bent nearly double and coughing uncontrollably, his entire body shaking with each cough. Okita?
来るな！
As I stepped toward him, he threw out a hand and twisted his face upward to glare at me. What?
大丈夫だから君はそこでじっとしていて。
It was the sheer force of his personality that stopped me, not just his words. After a while, his coughing slowed, then subsided entirely. Okita, is something wrong?
何が
When he turned to look at me this time, his sardonic half-smile was back. He looked every part the usual Okita, except that he had grown frighteningly pale. I mean, why don't we find somewhere to rest? You looked like you were in a lot of pain.
君のせいでここまで走らされたからね。それで疲れただけだよ。
But...
もう大丈夫さ。落ち着いたから。それよりも
His expression was suddenly hard.
彼女、カオルさんのことだけど、生殺事件のことを確かめたかった気持ちはわかる。
Good then. We needed to know if she was an enemy of the Shinsengumi or not. I needed to know.
でもそれならなおのこと、一人で動くべきじゃない。敵が現れたら君一人で対処できる？
Well...
無用の心配だったって言い切れる。彼女が君をおびき寄せるつもりだったとしたら。
You're right. She hadn't tried to attack me, but Okita was right. Next time I might not be so lucky. I could have easily run right into a trap.
一緒にいる以上、行動には注意してもらわないと。自分は役立たずの子供だって自覚しなよ。
Sorry. The Shinsengumi had done so much for me, I just wanted to give something back. Instead, I'd only caused more trouble for them.
やれやれ。お説教はここまで。
Okita looked tired and more than a little frustrated. I tried to apologize again, but he cut me off.
妙な遠慮はやめなよ。頼るべきときは頼ればいいんだからさ。まあ、今さら迷惑だなんて思わないからさ。散々かけっぱなしだからね。
He let out a snort of laughter. That night, after everyone else had gone to bed, I lay awake thinking about what had happened. I couldn't forget what Okita had said. A useless kid. He was right. Compared to the captains, no, even compared to the weakest Shinsengumi foot soldier, I was pathetic. There was nothing I could do for them. It wasn't as if I'd tried to imagine myself as some sort of warrior, but to have my lack of worth so bluntly stated was something of a blow. I lay there, staring at the ceiling. I couldn't go on like this. Tomorrow, I start working harder. I didn't want to run off on more pointless adventures that did nothing more than cause trouble. That meant I needed to develop better judgment. And if I'm going to do that, I need my sleep. But no sooner had I closed my eyes... What? There was a crash from the hallway outside of my room. I rolled up and out of my bed just as the door exploded into my room. Standing in the hole was one of the Shinsengumi's soldiers. Is something wrong? ... It was dark, inside and out, and I couldn't see his face. He just stood there. I felt a chill run up my spine. Did you need something? He was one of the Furies. I could see now that his face was twisted in madness, and his eyes shone like twin fires in the night. His hair glistened white in the moonlight. He was a member of the Fury Corps, and he was utterly and completely mad. I had to call for help. I couldn't possibly face a deranged superhuman monster on my own. No, I couldn't call for help. If I did, then the secret of the Furies would get out. That would be bad for the Shinsengumi. I had to find another way. The Fury, unfortunately, was not similarly encumbered by doubts. His sword hissed through the air, and I felt the metal of its blade burn into the flesh of my arm. Gah! Ow. Blood sprang from the cut. That's a lot of blood. I pressed down on it desperately with my free hand, but to no avail. Thick red liquid spilled between my fingers, fled down my arm, and onto the floor. He began to creep toward me, his movements odd and jerky, like a massive spider. I backed away from him until I felt my back hit the wall. I was going to die! Suddenly I remembered Okita's words from earlier that day.
妙な遠慮はやめなよ。 頼るべき時は頼ればいいんだからさ。
That was it then. My death wasn't worth their secret. Someone! Help! He was down on his hands and knees, licking my spilt blood off the floor. There was no samurai there. There wasn't even a person in him anymore. ... The blood on the floor distracted him, but I knew that it would last only precious seconds. If help didn't arrive soon, the seconds went by like hours. Please, I begged to any god who might be listening, let someone come. He looked up from the floor. My sleeve was soaked in blood from the cut on my arm. His eyes locked onto it, and I saw them light up with animal hunger. His grin was a nightmarish thing. No! There was no doubt. He was going to kill me. I froze. Yes! Hijikata had appeared in the doorway, his sword already drawn and shining in the moonlight. The Fury spun to attack Hijikata, but the commander's sword was faster. His twisted cry reverberated from the walls of the room, but he still stood, despite the wound Hijikata had given him, sword in hand. Yes! As I ran to his side, I heard other footsteps pounding down the hallway, and in mere moments they resolved into the figures of the other captains. At some unspoken signal, a chorus of blades slid from their scabbards.
新発さん、佐野さん、抜かるんじゃないぜ。
平助、この野郎、誰に物言ってやがる。羅刹だろうと平大使に遅れを取るようじゃ。組長返上しなきゃなんねえぞ。
They fanned out quickly, surrounding the wounded soldier. There was no escape. The captains all attacked at once, and the Fury died almost instantly. The excitement was over. Or so I'd thought. But it hadn't been only the captains who'd heard my cry for help. Isn't he technically a captain?
そこの大使はどうしたんですか。部屋を血で汚すなんて、なんて下品な。
His voice and his face were filled with shock and horror.
幹部が寄ってたかって大使を殺して説明しなさい。一体何があったんです。
The captains fell silent.
みんな申し訳ありません。私の監督不行き届きです。
Sannan? His appearance surprised me, and likely everyone else. It seemed like it would have been more prudent for him to remain hidden. Needless to say, the appearance of a man he'd thought dead did little to improve Ito's disposition.
三男さん？なぜあなたがここに？
Ito's usual composure was almost entirely gone, and he gaped openly at Sannan. I couldn't really blame him. I probably would have done much the same if I saw a dead man walking and talking.
その説明は後ほど。とにかくこの場の始末をつけなくては。
Sannan's face looked tight and drained. As the commander of the Fury Corps, he likely felt responsible for what had happened, as the man who had gone mad was supposed to have been under his control.
三男さんのせいじゃねえよ。
薬の副作用ってやつなんだろ。仕方ねえって。
ちょっとどういうこと？薬？一体何の話？三男さん？
この件に関してお答えできません。
Sannan's gaze slid to Ito for a moment, but he said nothing further. After all, what could he possibly say? How could one admit that they had been creating inhuman monsters in secret, out of one's own soldiers? Ito's composure regained at last. He leveled a glare at Sannan.
私は三男さんは亡くなったと聞かされておりましたのにね。みんなして この伊藤をたばかっていたと。この伊藤は仮にも新選組の参謀ですよ。その私に黙って計りごとを。
ああ、いちいちうるせえんだよ、てめえは。ちっとは黙ってやがれ。
なんて口の利き方を、土方君。
まあまあ、伊藤さん。トシも悪気があるわけじゃないんだ。状況が状況だ。勘弁してもらえないかな。
なんて野蛮な人たち。この伊藤、こんな方々と一緒になんていられませんわ。三男さん、あなたの口からちゃんと事情を説明してもらいますからね。聞いてるんですか、三男さん。
Ruh-roh. Sannan? Suddenly I realized he wasn't just being dismissive of Ito. There was something very wrong with him. His face was twisted in pain, and he didn't seem to respond at all, no matter how much I shouted his name.
どうした三男さん。
Sannan?
それ
What? His hair had begun to turn white. Ah! I don't even know how to scream as her. Like I said, the ahs, like, they say what kind of ah it's supposed to be, like, after she ahs, but, so we're just gonna go, ah! By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late. Sannan's hand shot out like an angry snake and closed around my wrist. Ow! The strength of his grip was unbelievable. His fingers might have been made of stone for all I could move them. I could almost feel the bones of my arm begin to bend under the strain. Ow! Sannan! His finger pressed against my arm too hard, wiping off some of the blood from the cut the soldier had given me. No! Let me go!
やめろ、三男さん。
くそ、三男さんまで血の匂いに当てられやがったか。
三男さん、そいつを離せよ。
Each man still had his hand on his sword, but I could see the hesitation in their eyes. It was Hijikata who finally spoke.
取り押さえろ。多少手荒になっても構わねえ。
仕方ねえ。悪く思わないでくれよ、三男さん。
やらせるわけにはいかないんだよ。
They moved into a circle around Sannan, their blades glinting.
君たち、まさか三男さんを？勝手なことはこの伊藤が許しませんわ。
伊藤さん、ここは危険だ。あとはトシたちに任せて、俺たちは部屋から出ていいよ。
近藤さん、何を、話しなさいよ。
Kondo pulled a struggling Ito from the room and off down the hall.
ありがてえ。あとはこっちの始末をつけるだけか。だが、それがなかなか。
三男さんの腕は半端じゃないし、まして今は。
そうです。血が欲しい。私の体が血を欲しているのです。
His tongue flickered out to lick my blood from his fingers.
もう許せねえ。行くぜ、新発さん、佐野さん。
おお、一度にかかるぜ。いや、待て。
なんだってんだ、土方さん。
三男さんの様子がおかしい。
おい、三男さん。私は一体。
Alright, listen. I'm gonna go on the localization again. You just heard he said, Watashi ga itai. So he basically said like I'm in pain or I hurt, not what happened. Whatever, it's still a good story. The madness was gone from Sannan's eyes, and his hair was quickly fading back to its normal color. Sannan?
雪村君。私は一体。
Oh, thank goodness! You're yourself again! I was relieved to see they hadn't been forced to cut Sannan down, but why had he returned to normal?
こりゃどういうことだろう。
俺に聞かれてもわからねえよ。
俺にもわからん。
The captains weren't the only ones confused. Sannan himself seemed to be just as surprised at his sudden transformation.
そうか。私も彼らのように。
And then all of a sudden you were normal again. I just can't understand how.
どうしてなのか。自分でもわかりません。
考えるのは後にして、とにかく後始末だ。そこの死体を片付けて部屋の掃除だ。
ああ、この畳はもうダメだな。
Okay, hold on. Side story. He said tatami, so like there's tatami floors. When a group of us went to Japan, my buddy had a cut on his knee he didn't even know about, and he was kneeling on the tatami, and when he stood up, we all looked down and we were like, holy shit! There was like a blood stain on the tatami, and we were at like a ryokan, and that's expensive to clean. So we all panicked, and like my other friend and I, we brought out our like, I don't know what they are, like the Tide wipes or something, basically like stain remover, just like wet naps. We were both like scrubbing, like it was on the pillow and it was on the tatami, and I think we did a pretty decent job. We never got like extra billed for it or anything, but so there you go, blood on the tatami. It's a difficult thing to get out. I commiserate with you, Harada.
こっちの襖も変えなきゃだぜ。
Each of them had moved to begin some task that needed doing, and Hijikata turned toward me.
それとお前は
Yes, of course, I'll help
怪
too.
我人を引っ込んでろ。体を休めるのが先だ。と言ってもこの部屋は使えねえか。
Woo!
今夜のとこは俺の部屋を使ってろ。
Your room? Are you sure?
しょうがねえだろう。さっさと行け。
Yes! I had no desire to remain in the blood-soaked room any longer than I had to. It took me only minutes to reach Hijikata's room. Huh? Is it morning already? The sun was peeking through the window, and outside I could hear twitters and chirps of birdsong. Oh, right. The room I was in wasn't mine. It took me a moment to remember whose room it was, and then all of the events of the previous night crowded back into my memory. I saw vividly the man who'd gone mad with bloodlust, felt the sting as his sword bit into my arm. I got cut. I looked down at my arm. I'd wrapped it in bandages the night before, after insisting that I could handle it myself, being the daughter of a doctor. Slowly I lifted it, then moved it in a circle. The cut had bled a lot, but fortunately it hadn't been particularly deep. I moved my arm some more. It didn't hurt. It bled so much, though. With deliberate care, I unwrapped the bandages. Of course. What had been an ugly open wound the night before was now little more than a faint white line. In a few days, even that would be gone. Well, I guess it's good that the wound is gone, but if anybody sees this... After some thought, I rewrapped the bandages. Unless they took them off, no one would know that my arm was completely healed underneath. That reminded me, however, how were they doing? I was awake, so I figured I might as well go out to the common room and see if anyone was there. As I neared the entrance, Ito appeared, on his way out. Heisuke and Saito followed in his wake, much to my confusion. Good morning.
ああ、君ですか。おはよう。命が助かったようで何よりですわね。
Thank you. His mood was almost the polar opposite of the previous night. He seemed now to be in rather high spirits. Has something happened?
知りたい？
Yes?
教えない。
Bitch! ...
まあ君にもすぐにわかりますわ。ねえ東堂くん、斉藤くん。
What? I cocked an eyebrow at Heisuke and Saito.
まあな。
The moment our eyes met, he looked away. That seemed odd. Saito?
今は知る必要はないということだ。
Unlike his companion, Saito met my gaze straight on, but his eyes were flat and utterly devoid of any emotion.
行きましょう、伊藤さん。
Oops, sorry.
ああ。じゃあまたな。
And then they were gone, leaving me wondering just what had happened.
おや、もう起きてて大丈夫なのかい？
Inoue and Shimada looked up as soon as I stepped into the common room. I'm fine. I slept really well, and I feel a lot better.
それは良かった。しかし、災難でしたね。傷が痛んだりしませんか？
Oh, well, actually it wasn't very deep. It barely hurts at all. I couldn't tell him the truth, of course, that it was already almost completely healed. Oh, I ran into Ito on my way in. Did something happen?
そうかい。あったのかい。
He frowned. He said something weird, and Heisuke and Saito were acting kind of strange too.
実は、伊藤さんたちは、ここから出ていくことになったんですよ。
新しく隊を立てるらしい。新選組とは別に。
What? Is that okay?
近藤局長と土方副長が伊藤さんと話し合って決めたことですから。
御領英治だって？
いかにもこの伊藤同志と共にここを出て孝明天皇の御領英治を拝命する所存ですわ。前々から考えていたのですけれど、あんな場面を見せられてしまったのですから、ちょうどいい機会だと思いまして。もともと尊王攘夷の志を持って新選組に協力しておりましたけれど、あなたたちとはどうにも水が合わなかったようですし。
理屈はいい。伊藤さん、あんた要するに体を割ろうって言うんだろう。
体を割るも何も、あなたたちのような獣の集団と一緒にいられませんわ。
まあ伊藤さんがそこまで言うならしょうがない。だが説明したように今回の事件の大元は幕府の依頼なのだ。今回のことを外に漏らされては我々も黙っているわけにはいかない。
そこは取引というものですわ。あなたたちは黙っていてほしいし、私たちは出て行きたい。だから出るにあたって大将を分けてほしいと言っているのよ。
分かった。だが連れて行くからには本人の承諾をお願いしますよ。
それはもう表向きは協力関係にあるという形を取らせていただきますし、その方がお互いにとっても都合がよろしいじゃないかしら。
協力体制ね。ということだそうだ。トシ。
近藤さんがそう決めたなら俺はもう何も言わねえよ。
Then Heisuke and Saito...
伊藤さんについていくそうだよ。驚いたね。
No. Then would that mean I could never see them again?
案ずることはない。言っただろう。これは友好的な関係を前提とした分離だ。
Kondo... It was kind of him to try and comfort me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was going to befall the Shinsengumi and its members.
そうは言っても、今後はエジと新選組大使との交流は禁止するつもりだろう。
The expression on his face was likely a mirror of my own.
当然だ。 これ以上あいつらの好き勝手にさせるつもりはねえからな。
But is this really okay? Ito and the others leaving, I mean?
伊藤派が抜けたところで困ることはない。
Hijikata's voice was flat but unconcerned.
ま、平助と斎藤も一緒だっていうのは少しばかり計算外だったがな。
少しどころではないな。
From there, the conversation moved on to a discussion of politics and the like that was beyond my ability to follow. And what could I have said anyway? The decision had already been made, and there was nothing I could have said to change it. I got up quietly and left the common room. I never thought something like this could happen. I was especially worried about the soldiers. What about the feelings of those who were being left behind? I wanted to know how the people in the Shinsengumi felt about Ito and his followers leaving. I decided to ask... Okay, I knew what the soldiers one, but I don't remember what this one is. Hold on. I decided to ask someone close to the people who were leaving. Perhaps it would be best for me to talk to someone who was close to Heisuke and Saito. I'd only known them since I'd come to Kyoto, and their departure was making me miserable. The rest of the Shinsengumi had known them much longer than that. How were those closest to them feeling? As I was trying to think of who to talk to first, Nagakura and Harada walked out of the common room.
Oh, 昨日は大変だったな。もう動いても平気なのか?
Yes, I'm alright.
もう怪我はいいのか? 心配したんだぜ。
The genuine concern on their faces warmed my heart. They were good men. All of the captains were good men, which only made it that much more heartbreaking that some of them were leaving us.
本当に昨日はひどい夜だったな。伊藤さんには新選組のことがバレちまうし。
About Ito, how do you guys feel about Heisuke and Saito? About them leaving, I mean.
なあ、そのことか。
His face twisted into a bitter grimace.
平助なやつ、俺らに一言も言わなかったんだぜ。まあ、あいつが悩んだ末に出した答えが向こうに行くってことなら、それはそれで仕方ないだろうな。
He flashed a crooked smile.
ところで、お前、最近の近藤さんのことどう思う?
Kondo? What do you mean? Kondo didn't seem any different to me than he had the first day I'd met him.
最近の近藤さん、ちょっと気取りすぎじゃないか? 伊藤派のことだって甘くしてるから付き上がったんだ。
Do you disagree with the chief and the commander?
いや、そうじゃねえんだけどよ。まあ、あの嫌味な伊藤が出ていくのはせいせいしてるんだぜ。だが、いずれ敵対することになるだろうな、伊藤さんのとことは。
Harada's words struck me as unpleasantly presentient, although I didn't know why. There was still one more thing I needed to ask them, though. What will you do if we have to... Oh, sorry. I can't read today, sorry. What will you do if we do have to fight them?
敵になるようだったら切る。それが新選組だ。って言うだろうな。
They gave each other a look, their faces grim.
けどな、いざ俺たちがあいつらと戦うことになったらな。正直、本気でやり合えるかはわからねえよな。
Their voices had faded to little more than a murmur. My wound healed completely soon afterward, but I kept the bandages on. I got plenty of questions about how I was recovering, but the best I could do was nod, smile, and assure them I was fine. The truth was, I didn't even have a scar. I couldn't have pointed out where on my arm I'd been cut if someone had asked me. When Ito and his followers, now the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, left, the compound seemed suddenly very empty. I felt like the Shinsengumi was falling apart around me, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Was this nothing more than a natural result of the Shinsengumi's growth, or the harbinger of something far greater and more terrible? July 1867. I should go to sleep. As if chiding myself would help. My mind was wide awake. I wasn't falling asleep anytime soon. But why? I was nervous, certainly, and I'd trained earlier that day, but neither of those was anything new. I needed to get to sleep soon, or I'd oversleep in the morning, and that would be embarrassing. As I forced my eyes shut for the 1000th time, I heard the door to my room slide open. Key? Yes! The voice outside belonged to Hijikata. I scrambled to my feet. What is it? A visitor? Who would come visit me? I wonder if it's that chick. Not the chick with my face, but the other chick. Right! I shuffled down the hallway after him and burst into the common room. Kondo, Okida, Harada, Nagakura, all of the top men in the Shinsengumi were there. And so was someone else. It is her! Sen? My visitor was Sen? We'd met in Kyoto proper some time ago. She was near my age, but had a unique and overwhelming personality, which had allowed her to see right through my disguise. But why had she come to the Shinsengumi? Only then did I notice a beautiful woman dressed as a ninja seated next to Sen. Bodyguard? That answered nothing and only prompted more questions. The captains kept silent, content to simply observe our conversation. Whatever was about to transpire, it seemed they intended to leave the decision to me. So, Sen, why are you here? That had not been on the short list I'd begun to compile of reasons why Sen had sought my company in the middle of the night. A quick glance around the room revealed that it had not been on anyone else's either. Pardon? I don't understand what you're saying. Met the bitch once. Don't really trust her, but I think I'm supposed to trust her because as far as otome games go, there's usually one female best friend, and I think she's it. I certainly didn't suspect her of anything untoward, but... Silent until that moment, the woman at Sen's elbows finally... At both of her elbows! The woman at Sen's elbow finally spoke. Wait, hold on. Why should I go with you?
そうだぜ。わけがわからねえ。いきなり訪ねてきて合わせろって言い出すし。合わせたらいきなり連れてくだ?
Please, Sen. I didn't let my gaze waver from her eyes.
そうね。じゃあ、順を追って説明しましょう。
The pupils in her eyes are like the Code Geass symbol almost. I think it's just shading, but I feel like she's gonna do some crazy magical power things. She cast her gaze around the room. This explanation was not simply for my benefit.
あなたたち、風間を知っていますよね。何度か刃を交えていると聞きました。
なんでそのことを知ってる？
この今日で起きていることはだいたい耳に入ってくるのです。
なるほど。お前も奴らと似たようなうさんくさい一味だってことか。
あんなのと一緒にされると困るんだけど。でも遠からずかしら。
まあいい。風間の話だったな。
あいつは池田や金門の変二条城と何度も俺たちの前に現れている薩長の仲間だろ
う。仲間っていうより彼らは彼らで何か目的があるみたいだったけどね。
どっちにしても奴らは新選組の敵だ。
では彼らの狙いが彼女だということも。
Sen gestured at me for the captain's benefit, then fixed me with a level stare. What was going on? This was getting stranger and stranger, and I was starting to think I didn't really want to know the rest of the story.
承知している。彼らは自らを鬼と名乗っている。信じているわけではないが。
ですが信じるしかないでしょうね。3人が3人とも人間離れした使い手ですから。
面白いな。三男さんがそういうこと言うんだ。
Dot dot dot. The room grew slightly more uncomfortable. I didn't think Okita had meant to offend with his remarks, but... So, go on, Sen.
彼らが鬼という認識はあるんですね。ならば話は早いです。実を申せば、この私も実は人ではありません。
Dead. A demon? Sen was a demon?
本来の名は千姫と申します。
With that, she gave us an elegant bow, exactly like one might expect from a princess.
私は千姫様に代々仕えている忍びの家のものでございます。
She's not an important character. She doesn't get mouth flaps. Sorry.
なるほどな。やけにあいつがいいと思ってたが、てめえの狙いは最初から新選組の情報を仕入れることか。
さあ、何のことにござりましょう。
She tilted her head to the side politely and met Hijikata's glare with an innocent smile.
おい、知り合いなのか？
よく見ろ、新八。君菊さんだ。島原で会った時と服装は違うが、顔は同じだろう。
Nagakura nearly fell over in shock. After recovering, he made a great show of staring pointedly at Kimigiku's face. For his effort, he received a smile identical to the one Hijikata had received.
この国には古来から鬼が存在していました。幕府や諸藩の上位の立場の者は知っていたことです。
It was still something of a shock, but after meeting Kazama and his companions, it was somewhat easier to accept Sen's explanation as the truth.
ほとんどの鬼たちは人々と関わらず、ただ静かに暮らすことを望んでいました。で、鬼の強力な力に目をつけた時の権力者は自分に力を貸すように求めました。
And did the demons obey?
多くの者は拒みました。人間たちの争いに、彼らの野心に、なぜ自分たちが加担しなければならないのかと。ですが、そうして断った場合、圧倒的な兵力が押し寄せて、村落が滅ぼされることさえあったのです。
How horrible.
鬼の一族は次第に各地に散り散りになり、隠れて暮らすようになりました。人との交わりが進んだ今では、血筋の良い鬼の一族はそう多くはありません。
それがあの風間たちだということかな。
Sen nodded.
今、西国で最も大きく血筋の良い鬼の家といえば、薩摩の後ろ盾を得ている風間家です。棟梁は風間千景。
Chikage Kazama.
そして東側で最も大きな家は雪村家。
What?
雪村家は滅んだと聞いています。ですが、その子はその生き残りではないか。あなたには特別強い鬼の力を感じるの？
No way. But...
あなたは鬼なの。ごめんね。これは間違いないの。
The finality of her words brought a cold silence to the room. I had no desire to believe her story, but the more I thought back to the events that had seemed utterly nonsensical, the more it made sense. Now I knew why Kazama was after me, and why I'd always healed so much more quickly than anyone else.
純血の鬼の子孫であれば、風間が求めるのも道理です。鬼の血筋が良い者同士が結ばれれば、より強い鬼の子が生まれるのですから。
なるほど。嫁にする気か。
風間は必ず奪いに来るでしょう。
You can actually have a route with Kazama in this version. I don't know, maybe you could have in the other ones too. I'm curious as to how that goes down, but you can only do it after unlocking 2 other routes. So we'll see eventually.
今のところ本気で仕掛けてきてはいないようですが、遊びがいつまで続くかは分かりません。そうなった時、あなたたちが守りきれるとは思わない。たとえ新選組だろうと、鬼の力の前では無力です。
なあ、千姫さんよ。無力ってのは言い過ぎなんじゃねえか？
新八の言う通りだ。そいつはちっとばかし俺たちを見くびりすぎだぜ。
今まで戦うことができたのは彼らが本気ではなかったからです。
本気になってもらおうじゃありませんか。本物の鬼の力見せていただきたいものですね。
Sannan! Kazuma and his friends had already demonstrated incredible strength. Even the captains of the Shinsengumi had been easily brushed aside. If that was not even the full extent of their strength, then a battle to the death against one of them would be...
言っておくが、ここは見風呂と言われた新選組だ。鬼の1匹や2匹相手にしたってびくともしねえんだよ。
そうですね。こっちだって泣く子も黙る鬼副長が率いてますからね。
お前は一言二言多いんだよ。
お気持ちはよくわかりますが、実際にはそう簡単でないことは分かっているのでしょう。ですから私たちに任せてください。私たちなら彼女を守れる可能性も高まります。
おいおい、決めつけんなよ。俺たちが守れないっていうのか？
あんたらの守れる可能性ってなんだ？確実に守れるって保証がないなら渡す必要はないだろう。
それよりも部外者のあなたが僕たち新選組の内情に口を出さないでくれるかな。
I'm not sure if they want to keep me around because they've gotten used to me being Chizuru, or if they just want to keep me around to prove their worth and defend their pride. They had made it quite clear that they weren't interested in Sen's offer. Perhaps they'd been a little harsh, but I couldn't deny the warm feeling of being part of a family who was unwilling to let me go.
土方さんはどうお考えです？風間たちの力を承知している土方さんなら、姫のお話お分かりいただけるんじゃありません？
それとこれとは話が別だ。
Kimigiku's smile froze.
相手がどんだけ強いかどうか知らねえが、俺たちが新選組の名にかけて守るってこととは関係ねえ。それにお前たちが鬼だというのは認めるが、別に信用したわけじゃない。
無礼な物言いですね。千姫様は鈴鹿御前様の血を引く。
君菊、おやめなさい。今はそのようなことを言っている時ではありません。
Her tone was calm and friendly, but it left no room for argument.
私も土方君に同意します。彼女にはまだここにいてもらわないと困りますしね。
Kimigiku glared at Sannan but said nothing.
そうですか。困りましたね。どうしても承知してはいただけませんか？
Kondo had remained silent for most of the discussion, his arms folded in thought, but at last he spoke.
雪村君、君自身はどう思うんだ？
Me? Well, I,
そうか。我々の前では何かと話しにくいかもしれないな。
近藤さん、そいつは。
Hijikata wasn't the only one to object. Most of the room rose up in protest.
せめて誰か一人立ち会うべきでしょう。あちらも君菊さんに来てもらえばいい。
まあいいじゃないか。
Kondo swept his gaze across the room.
この子は無茶なことはしないよ。ちゃんと道理をわきまえた子だ。なあ、雪村君。
Of course, I would never betray you, any of you.
仕方ないな。近藤さんが言うんじゃ。
His words spoke for the rest of them as well. They might not like it, but Kondo was the chief. What he said went.
二人きりになった途端、そのまま彼女を連れ去るなんてことはないでしょうね。
心配は無用です。私は風間たちとは違います。
I'll be fine. Sen isn't a bad person.
ありがとう。
She smiled. A few moments later, we found ourselves alone in my room.
急にいろんなことを言われて頭の中が混乱したでしょ。ごめんね。
Now that we were alone, she was less formal. This was the Sen I had met in Kyoto all those months ago. No, it's all right. I'm sorry about, them. They said some pretty mean things.
まあ想定の範囲内かな。いきなりあんな話を信用しろっていうのが無理なんだもん。鬼なんて簡単に信じられる人間は少ないから。それよりも私の提案どうかな。ちゃんと考えてみてくれる？
I had indeed. If Sen had come to take me when I'd first arrived in Kyoto, I might well have taken her up on her hospitality. But now?
新選組の人は守れるって言っていたけど、私は無理だと思う。
Perhaps what she said was true. To stand against demons would be no mean feat. The Shinsengumi was powerful and skilled. I'd seen them face overwhelming odds and emerge victorious, but always those odds had been only human. The strength of even a single demon was something great and terrible, of that there was no doubt. We had all seen so firsthand, and some had even lost their lives to that strength. Even the captains had nearly fallen before them.
だから私たちと一緒に行かない？あなたは新選組から離れるべきよ。
Sen. Her eyes were serious, but warm and honest. Whatever else she might be, her concern for me was real. Thank you, Sen, but... I
そ
hesitated.
れともここから離れたくない理由でもあるの？
Yeah.
あらら。もしかして誰か心に思う人でもいるのかな？
What? Her question had been entirely innocent, although it had caught me off guard. I couldn't possibly lie to her. Yes. Yeah. I nodded and did my best to look confident.
そっか。
She smiled.
誰なのかまでは聞かないけど、あなたが一人の女として見つけたものがここにはあるんだね。それなら離れろなんて言えないな。
At this point in the game, she's been with them for 2 years, but, there hasn't been any actual hint of her liking any particular one individually, so, this is kind of an awkward story part, but we're gonna roll with it. Thank you for waiting. The common room was just as we'd left it, and every head swiveled to look at Sen and me as we stepped back in. It didn't look as though they'd tried to kill each other in our absence, which was something of a relief.
結論は出たかな？
Before I could speak, Sen stepped forward.
これまで通りよろしくお願いします。
Sen. She bowed deeply to the captains.
姫様、よろしいのですか、本当に？
ええ、もう決めたことだから。今は彼女の意思を優先しましょう。
わかった。そういうことなら新選組が責任を持って預からせてもらおう。
No sooner were the words out of his mouth than all of the captains rushed towards me.
まあ、大船乗ったつもりで任せとけって。
新八の船は泥船だけどな。しかしまあ、よかったな。
ここに残るなんてよくよく物好きだね。
言っておくが客人扱いする気はないからな。お前の待遇は今までと同じだ。
Right. Thank you, all of you, for letting me stay. Sen took my hands in hers and let her eyes rest on mine.
くれぐれも気をつけてね。私はいつでもあなたの味方だから。
Thank you, Sen. She gave me one last warm smile, and then Sen and Kimigiku were gone. Sigh. Once again, sleep refused to come. My mind worked furiously, turning over everything Sen had told me, examining it from every angle. I was a demon. Not only that, but I was the head of a pure-blooded demon clan that had been nearly destroyed, and my heritage was the reason Kazuma had developed such an interest in me. Gosh. That's not quite the word I'd use. Alright, sorry, Chizuru. Gosh. I had decided to stay with the Shinsengumi, but was that really the best idea? Should I have left instead? I'd wanted to stay, of course, and I didn't really think leaving was a reasonable choice, but what if I'd made a mistake? ... It wasn't an easy question to answer. The relentless flow of thought had at last begun to subside when I heard a noise erupt from outside. Roars and shouts of battle accompanied by the sound of steel against steel echoed through the night. There was someone just outside my door. Shimada? Yes! The word was barely out of my mouth when the door snapped open and Shimada stepped into my room. His eyes darted back and forth nervously, and his body was tense. Has something happened? He nodded. What? I leapt for the door, but he threw out an arm to stop me, and his eyes met mine. But... I was the reason they'd come here. How could I justify sitting on my hands while others fought my battles for me? I didn't know what to do. Pretty sure this was the option. Double checking the walkthrough. Yes. I have to go, Shimada. Those demons are here for me. If anyone gets hurt, maybe they'll listen to me. That's why they're here, right? What if I can convince them to leave peacefully? Please, I'm begging you, let me go! Shimada's brow furrowed and his mouth drew into a tight line, but at last he sighed and shook his head. We ran out of the house, and then I paused momentarily, unsure of where to go. One moment Shimada was there, and the next he wasn't. He flew several yards through the air and landed hard on the ground, slid another few feet, and lay still. Damn, son. Shimada! I froze. That cold, flat voice. Chikage Kazama? Yeah! In the same instant that I recognized his voice, I felt his arm snake around my neck, pulling me toward him. I struggled, but his grip was as immovable as steel. Let me go! His voice was like a cold breath in my ear, and I could almost hear a sneer in his tone. I was at a loss for words. The creation of the Furies was hardly something I approved of, but I wasn't part of the Shinsengumi. What right did I have to criticize their actions? Especially when the very concoction that allowed them to create their false demons had been created by my father. Hijikata! Harada! Behind them I could see Yamazaki and several of the other Shinsengumi soldiers. Some men were missing, though. Had they been injured by the demons? Perhaps even killed?
そんなに嫁にしたかったら堂々と口説くんだな。かっこ悪いぜ、てめえのやり方はよ。
The Shinsengumi had surrounded Kazama by now, but his grip on me hadn't wavered for even a moment.
言っておくが、そいつは人質にはならねえぞ。
元よりそんなつもりはない。貴様らごとき障害物にすらならん。
The ring of men around him had begun to draw in. I could feel the tension build, like a rope being pulled taut. Soon it would reach its breaking point. What was I going to do? Should I try to attack, try to escape, or trust the Shinsengumi? I had decided long ago that I would trust them. The men of the Shinsengumi had far more experience and skill than I did. The safest thing for me to do would be to leave the situation to them. My eyes met Harada's. They were calm, confident, and warm. Even quite literally in the grip of the enemy as I was, his gaze made me feel safe somehow. I would be fine.
門の周りにいた連中はあらかた片付きました。
けどあんまりあっけなくことが運んじまうとつまらねえな。刺激が足りねえ。おい風間よ、目的の女は捕まえたんだ。さっさと帰ろうぜ。
確かにこれ以上の騒ぎになると面倒です。
ああ、そうだな。
だく大したことねえな。新選組って言ってもこの程度か。所詮人間だな。
His laughter was cut short by Harada's spear.
新選組がどうしたって？
お？てめえかよ、原田！
動くなよ。
As he spoke, his spear shot forward, slipping through the air only inches from my body. With a tiny sneer, Kazama's hand snapped out to catch the spear before Harada could pull it back.
そんな腕で俺を倒せると思っているのか。
どこを見てやがる。てめえの相手はこの俺だ。
Out of nowhere, Hijikata appeared, his sword already sweeping down toward Kazama. I'm sorry, anytime I hear the phrase out of nowhere, I just think of wrestling with Randy Orton. RKO out of nowhere! This one's a Hijikata out of nowhere! He let go of the spear and spun to avoid Hijikata's strike, but in doing so, lost his hold on me. I slumped to the ground as the Shinsengumi's combined attack forced Kazama back.
そのまま動くな。
He brushed aside a second blow from Hijikata and strike from Harada.
鬼も切られりゃ血が出る。首をはねられりゃ死ぬんだろ
う。やってみるか。
ああ、俺の手でてめえを地獄に送ってやるよ。
The sound of steel on steel rang out across the compound.
人間とは不可解な生き物です。なぜ叶わぬと分かって牙を剥くのですか。
As he spoke, Amagiri moved towards Kazama, but found Nagakura standing in his path.
おっと、お前は俺に付き合ってもらおうか。
ご遠慮したいところですが、許してもらえそうもありませんね。
Amagiri's fist looked as if it moved nearly as fast as a cannonball, but Nagakura managed to deflect it.
てめえが平助をやったやつだな。あいつの分の一撃もくれてやらなきゃ気が済まねえ。
Hijikata's full attention was focused on Kazama. He no longer had a hold of me, but it seemed clear he wasn't ready to give up on taking me just yet. The night echoed with the sound of steel on steel as blades leapt forward, met, and flew apart again.
原田、てめえは俺がやってやるぜ。
The tip of his gun drifted and weaved, trying to get in a good shot at Harada, but they were both in almost constant motion, making that shot practically impossible.
ぶっ飛びやがれ。
来いよ白縫い。この距離なら俺の槍はお前の銃にだって引けは取らねえぞ。
原田てめえ、よっぽど蜂の巣にされてえらしいな。
風間様、敵も体勢を立て直しつつありますが、
今日の遊びはしまいだ。こいつはいつでも手に入れられる。
With a short nod to one another, Kazama and Amagiri leapt over the wall to the street and disappeared.
何が鬼だ。お前らこそ口だけじゃねえか。
Insults seemed to be all Nagakura had the energy for, however. His arms hung at his sides and the tip of his sword nearly touched the ground. Still, he could hardly admit that one of our foes had yet to retreat.
面白いな、原田よ。やりごときでこの俺様に向かってくるなんてな。お前をやるのはまた今度だ。次こそ邪魔が入らねえことを祈りてえもんだな。どっちかが死ぬまで殺し合いてえ。
And with that, he was gone. Was it over? For tonight, at least, it looked like it was. I was still sitting on the ground where I'd fallen when Kazama dropped me. I felt my body go limp as the tension disappeared. A quiet sigh of relief escaped my lips.
大丈夫か。よく頑張ったな。
I looked up to find Harada's smiling face in front of my own. Harada! I stopped. If I said anything more, I was afraid I'd burst into tears, so instead I gave him a shaky smile. With a grin, he tousled my hair, and his touch pushed me over the edge. Oh, Harada! Thank you! Thank you so much!
いや、悪かった。すぐに助けてやれなくてよ。
No, no, you saved me after all. You don't need to apologize. I didn't feel guilty for having been saved at least, but I still wished there was something I could do to make myself useful.
そんな顔するなって。俺たちだってちゃんとお前に助けられたんだから。
What?
お前が俺たちを信じておとなしくしていてくれたから、あいつらを撃退することができたんだ。
Harada.
男が女を守るってのは間違いなく正義だ。お前がいてくれたから俺たちは普段の何倍も力が出たんだ。俺だけじゃないぜ。新八も近藤さんや土方さんだってお前を守るために必死で戦ったんだ。
I mean, it's kind of a sexist way of thinking, but I mean, it is kind of a truth. It doesn't necessarily have to be just a girl, but when someone you care about is in danger, you fight better trying to protect them. And in this case, since it is a dating sim, you know, we'll go with the sexist version. It's all cool with me. To protect me.
だから迷惑かけたとかそういうのは気にすんな。ありがとうな。
Thank you, Harada. He held out a hand to help me up, and by the time I was back on my feet, I was smiling from ear to ear.
よし、安心してもう一遍寝ろ。お前のことは俺たちが守ってやるからな。
Yes, I will. With a grin and a wave of his arm, Harada escorted me back to my room. What about all like the dead other rando soldiers that the demons killed? Let's just forget about them. It seemed like morning came altogether too early. I sighed, splashed my face with cold water to clear my wits, and headed for the common room. The captains and several other men were already there, including Inoue and Yamazaki. Good morning. They nodded or mumbled return greetings, but their faces were universally dour after the night's events. I heard Inoue and Yamazaki mention Shimada's name and edged over to listen in on their conversation.
島田君の様子はどうなんだい？
打ちどころが悪くて気絶したようですが、怪我は打ち身程度で大したことはありません。
I sighed with relief and felt some of the tension leave my neck. If Shimada had been seriously hurt guarding me.
ああ、島田君が君に謝ってくれと言っていたよ。役に立てず申し訳ない。
What? I'm the one who should be apologizing to him. I felt the conversation in the room ebb and turned to see Kondo walk through the door. He was usually calm and collected, but today his face was especially stern. Something was wrong, but what?
いやあ、何かあったのかい？もともといかつい顔なのに、それじゃ迫力満点だ。ほら、怖がってるじゃないか。
No, I'm not scared. I waved my hand desperately and the men laughed.
それはすまなかった。
He gave me a tight grin, but then looked down, his face grim. Please, just tell us what happened. Is it bad?
すぐにわかることだから伝えておこう。
He wasn't just talking to me anymore. The rest of the men moved closer to hear what he had to say.
西本願寺からこれ以上新選組がここにいるのは困ると言ってきた。
それはつまり我々にここから出ていけということですか？
いや、さすがにそこまで直接的な物言いではなかったが。
To be fair, they had demons come and attack. Oh, if I was at like a church or temple, I really wouldn't want people staying there that attracted demons either.
いつかはそうなるんじゃないかと思ってはいたがね。いやはや、しかし困ったね。
The monks at the Nishihongwanji temple were imperialists and allies of the Choshu. They'd never been fond of the Shinsengumi, but we decided to force our way into their temple anyway. It was no surprise they wanted us out, but I'd finally begun to feel like the temple was my home. On a more practical level as well, it was far more convenient for our work in Kyoto. I was sure I wasn't the only one who felt that way.
それにしても急な話ですね。まさか昨日の騒ぎが原因ですか？
ああ、ここで騒ぎを起こしては困るらしい。察するに長州か薩摩、そのあたりからも言われているのだろうな。
The fight the night before had only happened because of me. I'm sorry. This is all my fault.
そうではないさ。もともと無理難題を言ってここに押しかけたのは我々なんだからな。
でもどうするのですか？屯所移転ともなるとまた候補地選びからやり直しになります。
それがな、移転先の敷地も屯所も全部西本願寺が持ってくれるそうだ。
おお、そりゃすごい。よっぽど出て行ってほしいのですな。
まあここは素直に受け取っておいた方がいいだろう。また忙しくなるぞ。
A plot of land was purchased and a new compound built, all paid for by the Nishihongwanji temple. It became the third headquarters of the Shinsengumi, the Fudodo village location. Okay, I'm sorry, Fudodo? Really? I mean, I know things are different in the Japanese language and Fudodo might sound alright. It does, but like just seeing it in print, Fudodo. I'll say it better. I'll try and say it more Japanesey. By the time summer came, the Shinsengumi had left Nishihongwanji, where they'd spent more than 2 years. November 1867. A gust of wind stripped some of the last stubborn leaves from the trees and sent them skittering across the Kyoto street. It was cold and bit into me through my clothes. I shivered. It's almost winter, isn't it?
ああ、すっかり風が冷たくなったからな。
Says the man with a bare chest.
けどよ、今は昼だからまだマシな方だぜ。寒い夜の巡察がどれだけ辛いかというとな。
It was November and the temperature was definitely dropping, although it had yet to get cold enough for us to see our breath during patrol. はぁ。
ひょっとして寒いのか？なんなら手でもつないでやろうか？
Yes. I'm not that cold. I'll be fine. Oh? I'd noticed someone walking toward us.
Yo! つうかさ何巡察サボって白昼の大通りで口説いたりしてんだよ。
バカ、お前と一緒にすんな。俺は寒そうだから純粋に好意でだな。
Oh, hello Nagakura. Nagakura's patrol took him on a different route than ours. It was only luck that we'd happened to meet in one of the few places they overlapped. Their bickering might have looked odd to a passerby, but I knew it for the sign of deep friendship that it was.
ん？そんなニヤニヤしてどうかしたか？
そりゃ、新八がいつも通りの抜けた面さらしてるからに決まってるだろう。
No, it's just, well, I was remembering when we met up like this before, like the time I met Kaoru. I was with Okida and Heisuke then, though. Oh. More than 6 months had passed since Saito and Heisuke had left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Harada and Shinpachi's faces turned grim as I trailed off. I shook my head, hoping vainly to cast off unpleasant thoughts. I just mean, there's been so much going on lately. It makes me nostalgic.
まあ、確かにここんとこ世間もうちも大きく動きがあったよな。
Yes, like the shogunate handing power over to the imperial court. Nagakura nodded as I spoke, with the air of a pleased teacher encouraging a student.
そうだな。じゃあまず、伊藤派が分離して新選組にどんな影響が出たかわかるか？
Well, we have fewer members now.
半分正解。確かに人は減った。それも最近の幕府寄りな新選組に異を唱える尊王派の連中がごっそりとな。
ってことはまあ残ったやつのほとんどは幕府優先の砂漠派ってことになるわけだ。
なあ。こないだ近藤さんが直参になって俺たちも幕臣になることが決まった時揉めたやつがいたこと覚えてねえか？
That was right around the time we moved to Fudodo Village. Several more men had wanted to leave. Some of them had been given permission to go, but others were told that wasn't an option and were forced into the Fury Corps. Kondo's promotion had changed the Shinsengumi's relationship with the Shogun. Where before we'd only been philosophically aligned with the Shogun, now we answered directly to him. For some people, that was a serious problem. How do you guys feel about being vassals of the Shogun?
俺らは立場とかって苦手。
まあな。
Sorry.
幕府の家来になるために今まで戦ってきたわけじゃねえし。
Neither of them was very happy with it. Nagakura especially. We kept walking for a few blocks, talking about this and that, before Harada yawned quietly.
新八の小難しい話のせいで眠い。お前も飽きたら飽きたって言っていいんだぞ。
Oh no, I'm fine. I like listening to Nagakura talk about things.
佐野と違って偉いね。じゃあ続きでもするか。先々月に起きた明治天皇の即位と先月の大政奉還についてだな。
Listen, this is horrible exposition writing, trying to be like a history lesson while being in this dating sim, but like, this isn't the way to go about it. I'm not going to remember any of this, but luckily I don't have to take any tests, so we're okay. Well, the restoration was when the Tokugawa shogunate returned power over the government to the emperor, right? I don't really know much about it.
そう。幕府を潰すことなく朝廷と一本化させようっていう土佐の坂本龍馬ってやつが主導した意見だ。
Unfortunately, Nagakura continued. In doing so, he managed to anger both the loyalist and imperialist factions and earned the enmity of both.
ともあれ、この大政奉還で徳川は権力を失ったってことになる。名目上はだけどな。
I just realized I read that last statement very wrong. The wrong emphasis on some things. It wasn't like unfortunately he continued. It's unfortunately Nagakura continued. Blah blah blah. So sorry if that was confusing. So what happens when you sight read.
なんか薩摩とかがいろいろ動いてるらしいが、急に世間が変わるわけでもないさ。
I see. As I looked around the city, it seemed like he had a point. Nothing much seemed to have changed. Inns were still bustling with travelers, tea shops were still smelling delicious. Life continued just as it always had, regardless of what the shogun was or wasn't doing. The city might look the same as it always had, but time flowed on regardless, and a great wave was coming that would carry all of us away. I looked up at Nagakura, and something occurred to me that I hadn't thought of before. Before I realized what I was doing, I'd already opened my mouth. I didn't realize you were so smart, Nagakura. You know a lot about politics. There was a man named Ryoma Sakamoto. He was a ronin from the Tosa domain and had allied himself with the Satsuma and Choshu domains as well. For a time, the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, Mimiwarigumi, and even the Shinsengumi were desperate to find him. After his orchestration of the restoration of imperial rule, however, orders were passed down to leave him alone. I only had a general idea of who he was and what he'd done, but even I had figured out that he was an important person, so when I heard Inoue mention him, I listened.
その坂本龍馬だが暗殺されたらしい。
Dun dun dun!
マジかよ、ゲンさん。一体誰がやったのか話は出てるのか。
坂本は敵が多いしな。倒幕派か砂漠派か。個人的な恨みなら紀州の三浦ってやつも揉めてたよな。
実は僕らが一番疑われてるんじゃ。どうせ殺されんなら僕が切っておけばよかったな。
おいおい、おめえのは冗談に聞こえねえよ。つうか、俺らは手出すなって言われてただろうが。
I'd never met Sakamoto. I barely knew who he was, but I felt somehow that his death would shake the country to its core. Inoue frowned.
知っての通り、政治的な判断もあるし、私たちは近藤さんから坂本龍馬に手を出さないよう加盟されている。だけど世間はそう見てくれないようだね。現場に新選組大使の鞘が落ちていたらしい。今、取り調べの問い合わせが来ているよ。
A scabbard? Is that really enough evidence?
どう考えても単なる言いがかりだろうよ。で、誰の鞘だって言ってるんだ。
それがな、
ダンダダン。
あんたなんだ、原田君。
What? Of all the people to try and frame for murder, Harada?
なんだ、佐野さんが切ったんだ。僕も呼んでほしかったな。
He's a spear user.
バカ言え。問題の俺の鞘はここにあるんだぜ。話にもならないな。
He threw up his hands in exasperation. Inoue smiled faintly and nodded.
私もみんなも最初から疑ってないよ。だが世間が信じてくれるかわからんのが困るな。先方も犯人を絞りきれないのだろうね。紀州藩の三浦九太郎が新選組に依頼して暗殺したって話もあったよ。
Miura. That was the man Nagakura had mentioned. He had some sort of personal quarrel with Sakamoto, which made him a suspect.
新選組の仕業にしたいやつもいるだろうしな。つっても俺たちが知らない以上、新選組が手を下したわけねえよ。
三男さんが勝手に動いたんだとしたら別ですけどね。
The room fell silent.
三男さんは大丈夫なのか。俺らから見ても最近の夜の巡察はやり方がひでえぜ。
It was true that Sannan had been acting stranger and stranger. Although I didn't want to believe it, I had to admit it wasn't that difficult to imagine him doing something like that. When I passed him on occasion in the hallways, his eyes were dry and thirsty, as if he was always, always hungry for blood.
俺らで気をつけるしかねえよ。羅刹隊の存在を表に出すわけにはいかねえし。
その件についてだが、
近藤さんと土方さんって。
Saito!
なんでここにいんだよ。
I rubbed vigorously at my eyes, looked, then did it again. But there was no doubt. The man who'd followed Kondo and Hijikata into the room was the man who'd left to join the guardians of the Imperial Tomb, Saito himself.
おや、斉藤君じゃないか。久しぶりだね。ご両英治の方はどうしたんだい？
What are you talking about, Inoue? There's no way Hijikata would allow anyone from the guard here. We're prohibited from even talking to them.
ああ、ごちゃごちゃうるせえな。ユースも何も。本日付で斉藤は新選組に復帰すんだよ。
What?
いや、ちょっと待った土方さん。俺たち的には嬉しい頼りだけどよ。それじゃあご両英治っつうか伊藤派の立場は？
It was Saito who answered.
まずそこから訂正を。 俺はもともと伊藤派ではない。
斉藤君はな、都市の名誉を受けて患者として伊藤派に混じっていたんだよ。
And with that, everything suddenly made sense. They say that to fool your enemy, you must first fool your allies, and Saito had been doing just that.
なんだ斉藤君、僕に内緒でそんなに楽しいことしてたんだね。
I like his kimono. The black part with like the embossed print. I don't know, it's cool looking.
さっきは肝が冷えたぜ。近藤さんたちも人が悪いよ。
極秘だったんでな。黙っていてみんなにはすまんことをしたな。
It was a surprise, to be sure, but I was glad we'd have Saito back with us again. I gave him a tentative smile, but he only sighed and shook his head.
安心するのは後だ。この半年、俺は御領絵師として活動したが、伊藤たちは新選組に対して明らかな敵対行動を取ろうとしている。
敵対行動とは表現からして穏やかではないようだ。
伊藤のやつは幕府を失墜させるために羅刹隊の存在を公表しようとしてやがんだ。そのために薩摩と手を組んだって話もあるな。
If the existence and creation of the monstrous Furies was to become public knowledge, the shogunate's reputation would be irreparably damaged, and the Shinsengumi would undoubtedly suffer as well. Even I could predict that.
そして、より差し迫った問題がもう一つ。伊藤派は新選組局長暗殺計画を練っている。
Not Kondo! You mean Kondo? Kondo's face was stern and tense, but he kept silent. He glanced over at Hijikata.
御領絵師はすでに新選組潰しに動き始めている。坂本龍馬が暗殺された件を聞いたか？
ああ、何でも俺がやったとかいう話だよな。
聞いたなら話は早い。その噂を流したのは御領絵師の連中だ。紀州藩の三浦九太郎が新選組に依頼して原田に殺させたってな。
Hijikata explained that Miura insisted that he didn't do it, but is sure that someone's going to take a stab at him eventually.
三浦の警護は斎藤に頼むことになる。斎藤は周りから見ると伊藤派から出戻りしたようにしか見えねえから
な。わきまえています。ほとぼりが冷めるまで俺はここにいない方がいいでしょう。
Here, Hijikata paused for a moment. The room was utterly silent. Every one of us could sense that what came next would be very, very important. ...
伊藤貸太郎。羅刹隊を公にするだけでなく、近藤さんの命まで狙ってるときた。
He spoke quietly, almost to himself, as if sharing a final moment with a former comrade. Then he looked up, and when he spoke, his voice was like cold steel, the voice of the demon.
残念なことだが、伊藤さんには死んでもらうしかないな。
やむを得まい。
Kondo nodded, and that was that. The Shinsengumi would kill Kashitaro Ito.
まず、伊藤を近藤さんの別宅に呼び出す。接待には俺も回る。その後、伊藤の死体を使って御領絵師の連中を呼び出し、切る。実行隊は長倉、原田、お前らに頼む。
で、土方さん、僕は誰を切ればいいんですか？
I'm surprised he's still alive. Spoilers, he has tuberculosis or some shit.
おめえは寝てろ。変な咳をしやがるし、体調も悪いんだろう。まだ数日は斎藤もここにいるから相手してもらってろ。
恨みますよ、土方さん。
It all seemed very calculated for murder. I hadn't realized it had been sitting still, dumbfounded, until I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder. Saito?
御領絵師は これで終わる。平助を呼び戻すつもりがあるなら、これが最後の機会になるだろう。
He was right. If they meant to kill the guard, that included Heisuke. Hijikata, what are you going to do with Heisuke? He's part of the guard now.
そりゃもちろん助けて。
歯向かうようなら切れ。
What? No, you can't mean that. That's wrong. Hijikata showed no sign that he'd even heard me. I watched his back disappear out the door. You're actually going to order them to kill Heisuke? Don't you care what happens to him?
そんなわけがなかろう。年だって本心では助けたいと思ってるんだ。年には俺からも後で話しておく。
The last few words he mumbled to himself, and then coughed nervously, as if embarrassed that he'd raised his voice. It was only then that I realized how much Kondo was suffering, how much they were all suffering, even Hijikata. I'm sorry for saying that.
いや、むしろ嬉しかったよ。平助は皆に慕われているのだな。
Kondo let out a slow breath, then looked up at me and smiled. He turned to Nagakura and Harada and spoke in a low voice.
長倉、原田。局長ではなく、近藤勇として頼む。
ああ。やってみる。
I'm sorry that I sometimes cut off things. They finish like a sentence and I think they're done, and then right when they start another thing, I've already pushed X. So, hopefully you're reading the script and can get the point. My bad. As they discussed the details of their orders, I sat and wondered what I should do. What could I do?
これで皆自分の役割は確認したな。質問があるなら今のうちに言っておいてくれ。
Wait. I heard myself begin to speak, my voice surprisingly calm and dignified. I haven't been given any orders. I would like to help.
手伝うと言っても、今回は汚い仕事だ。
It was true. This wasn't a patrol or even a guarding mission. This was the assassination of a former comrade and an attack on men who'd split from the Shinsengumi. Pretty sure it's this one, but let me check. Yeah. I still wanted to help. Still, I wanted to do what I could. It might be my last chance to see Heisuke. Please, let me go. I won't get in the way.
あのな、今回のは使いでも遊びでもねえんだ。
一時は同志だった奴らの暗殺だ。万一があれば、平助すら切ることになるかもしれないんだぞ。
I know, it's not something to be taken lightly. I knew that the Shinsengumi had carried out these sorts of black operations before. There was no way I could have stayed with them as long as I had and not known, but that was why I couldn't simply stand by and let them shoulder all the responsibility. I'd spent enough time looking away until the deed was done. No more. Perhaps it's presumptuous of me to say so, but I consider myself a member of the Shinsengumi.
決意は固いようだな。
His face had lost its usual warmth. It wasn't anger or cruelty that it showed now, but the gravity of a general addressing his men.
ならばどうする？この一件において、君は何をしたいのか？
I had already decided I would... I'm pretty sure it's this one, but let me check. Yay! Let me read what the next one is, just so I don't have to check. Okay. I would convince Heisuke. I think I'm going to save. I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to save because we've done a lot, so hold on. Boop, boop. Yay! Look at that Hijikata flashing in the corner. Alright. Kyoto was a city of many streets, some of them more quiet and isolated than others. Aburano Koji was one of these, and it was where Nagakura, Harada, and I hid with the rest of the men assigned to this task.
そろそろ来る頃だな。
We'd set out Oh god, they killed him already. Okay. We'd set out Ito's corpse as bait to draw the guard into a trap. ... My teeth bit into my lips so hard I had to stop before I drew blood. If Ito had been allowed to live, he would have been a danger to the Shinsengumi. I understood that. But this... it just seems...
辛いなら見る必要はないんだ。別の方を向いてた方がいい。
No. Whatever I might think of what we were about to do, this was my only chance to save Heisuke. I couldn't look away. We sat there for... I wasn't sure how long, until finally we heard the sound of the guard approaching.
あそこに倒れているのは伊藤先生。おのれ、一体誰がこのような真似を。
6 or 7 of them rushed forward to examine Ito's corpse. Among them, of course, Heisuke. ... He hadn't noticed us yet, but the taciturn, downcast boy I saw in the street was nothing like the Heisuke I'd known. Harada and Nagakura picked him out at the same moment I did. Silently, they both closed their eyes for a moment in silent prayer.
行くぞ。
新八ちゃん、サノンさん、それにお前もか。
中倉、原田、伊藤先生を殺したのは貴様らか。
Heisuke was drowned out by the cry of the guardian, but he in turn was interrupted by the sudden rapport of a gunshot. What?
何事だ?
If he was hesitating, then it hadn't been the guardians who'd fired. Was it the Shinsengumi? There's only one person with a damn gun in this whole game. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
どこのバカとは釣れねえな。よう人間、遊びに来てやったぜ。
In answer to Nagakura's question, 2 shadows drifted out of the darkness. I recognized them. Shiranui? Amagiri?
おい、なんでお前らがここにいる？
なんでってな。仕事だよ、仕事。頭の悪いお前らと、もっと頭悪い御両英二が罠にはまるのを見物しに来たってことさ。
He waved one of his arms casually in some sort of signal. Where did all these people come from?
よくもまあこれだけ人数を集めたもんだ。風体からすると薩摩の連中だな。
What was going on? The moment Satsuma was mentioned, the guardians of the Imperial Tomb began to shift back and forth and mumble among themselves.
不意をつくような真似は詫びましょう。だが我々も一応は判明に従う必要がありましてね。
薩摩の判明かよ。お前はともかく白縫は長州の関係者じゃなかったか。宗派替えでもしたんなら笑うとこだけどな。
あいにく薩摩長州は仲良し小良しらしくてな。そんなことより自分の心配が先だろ。
As Shiranui spoke, the men behind him began to inch forward. I reached for my sword, but Harada stopped me.
俺の後ろにいろ。近づいてくるやつは片っ端から俺が倒してやる。
From the rest of the Shinsengumi, I heard the tense sounds of hands tightening on hilts and swords being loosened in their scabbards. I swallowed.
待て、貴様らが薩摩藩だというなら、何故我らまで包囲する。
ああ、お前らが伊藤派とかいう連中か。坂本の件では世話になったらしいな。
Did he mean the assassination of Ryoma Sakamoto? Then, were the Satsuma and the guard allies?
じゃま、ご苦労さん。礼は言ったから、とっとと死んでくれや。
Bang! What? The crack of a pistol shattered the night air, and the guardian who'd been speaking flew backward, his chest a bloody hole.
貴様、裏切る気か、薩摩藩。
ああ、そういうお前らは昔のお仲間を裏切ったんだろうが。坂本暗殺は新選組の原田の仕業です。とか。
やっぱそうか。
Just as Hijikata had suspected, Ito and his followers had been behind the rumor of Sakamoto's assassination. Heisuke said nothing, his eyes glued to the ground. Had he known?
ま、お前らはもう用済みだ。口封じのためにはお前ら殺しちまうのが一番簡単だろ。
The guardians of the Imperial Tomb were no fools. It was plain that whatever deal they'd had with the Satsuma was no longer in place. Both Shinsengumi and guard were only moments from attacking when Amagiri's voice echoed across the street.
この戦力差、戦うのはおすすめしませんね。
あ？
そこにいる雪村君をこちらに預けるつもりはありませんか？
おい天霧、勝手なことを抜かすな。そいつとて新選組。
勘違いしてもらっては困る。確かに判明には可能な限り従いますが、私にとってはそれが第一ではありません。
しかし
まだ何か言いてえことがあるやつはいるか？この弾ぶち込まれてまだ生きてられたら聞いてやんよ。
He glanced down at the corpse that had dared to challenge him, then waved his pistol in the direction of the Satsuma men and laughed. How could he? To Shiranui, there were no enemies or allies. He was a beast that the Satsuma had only just learned they could not control.
外野が静まったところで答えを聞きましょう。
Not even a breath disturbed the silence of Aburano Koji. The demons, the Satsuma, the guard, and the Shinsengumi all waited to see how I would respond. I...
だとよ、佐野。どうする？
聞くまでもないだろう。奴らのたわごとなんて信用できるか。平助の冗談の方が可愛げがあるぜ。
Harada and Nagakura grinned at one another in a manner that could only be described as roguish. Perhaps it was only my imagination, but I thought they smiled for a moment at Heisuke as well.
いいねいいね、その強がり。ならこの数を突破できるか、お前ら。
At a motion from Shiranui, the Satsuma rushed forward, a solid wave of men and swords that tumbled over the Shinsengumi and guard alike. I... beep boop. Wait, please!
あ？こっちに来る気になったか？
Dot dot dot. Even as skilled as they were, there was no way Harada and Nagakura could fight off all the men that Satsuma had brought. And if Amagiri and Shiranui fought as well... If I go with you, then you'll leave everyone else alone.
いい心がけだ。自己犠牲ってやつだな。けどな。
What are you doing?
俺たちは後ろの奴らを全滅させてからお前を連れ帰っても問題ねえんだよ。
But you said!
ああ、確かに見逃すって言ったな。天霧の旦那はな。
He'd never meant to let the Shinsengumi go. He'd only wanted to see how I would react. You're disgusting!
やれやれ、知らぬにも困ったものですね。
Perhaps he simply enjoyed seeing me angry, but Shiranui's smile widened. I could see Amagiri shake his head wearily, but he showed no signs of stopping his companion.
なんだ？怒ってんのか？しゃあねえな。俺も話のわからねえ男じゃねえ。じゃあ原田、そいつはどうなってもいいから、俺たちは助けてほしいって頭を下げるなら考えてやるよ。
Harada had been watching me during my confrontation with the demons. Never once did he so much as glance at Shiranui. I looked over at him now, and he flashed me a brilliant smile.
さっきのかっこよかったぜ。私が行けばなんて実際その場面になってなかなか言えるもんじゃない。
At last, he turned to face Shiranui. The crowd of Satsuma damn soldiers. The crowd of Satsuma's soldiers shrank back before his furious glare.
来い！こいつを渡して生きるぐらいなら、お前らを道連れに果ててやるよ。新選組10番組組長の首、やすやすと取れると思うな。
Harada.
かっこつけやがって。おい、平助、何突っ取ってやがる。この状況で佐野だけにかっこつけさせる気か。
His voice echoed across the street, and Heisuke's head snapped up. He stared at Nagakura in disbelief for a moment, then grinned, ran a hand through his hair, and started toward us.
たく新八ちゃんも佐野さんも前からそうだったよな。喧嘩の時はよ、いっつもそうだ。俺の都合なんて関係なく呼んだりしてさ。
おいおい、そりゃお互い様だろ。俺だって何度も呼び出されたからな。
けど今回はとびっきりすぎだっての。なんせ尊王派とか砂漠派とかそんな都合まで全部無視して人を呼びつけちまうんだからな。
With the last word, Heisuke stood next to us, facing Amagiri and Shiranui. He flashed me a grin, and the melancholy boy I'd seen only minutes ago was gone. In his place was the Heisuke I'd known.
しょうがないから手伝ってやるよ。新八ちゃんや佐野さんはともかくこいつを見捨てたら寝覚めが悪いしな。
腹決めるのが遅えんだよ。
Never before had I heard someone say idiot with such happy affection. The words spilled out of me. Heisuke, when this is all over, can't you come back to the Shinsengumi? Everyone misses you.
ああ、考えとく。なんつっても佐野さんも新八さんも俺がいないとダメすぎだからな。
We were outnumbered and fighting two demons with strength, speed, and skill that defied belief. So why did I feel so relaxed?
こうして3人で喧嘩すんのも久しぶりだな。
平助、久々すぎて腕がなまってねえだろうな。
佐野さんや新八さんに心配されるほど落ちぶれてねえや。
They laughed just the way I'd heard them do so many times before. Even in a street full of enemies, watching them made me feel almost safe. Harada. I'd meant to say that things had worked out. He just grinned at me and gripped his spear a little tighter.
敵は鬼2人に雑魚が大勢。さて、犬猿記事で桃太郎を守って鬼退治としゃれ込むか。
With that, the battle began. Countless Satsuma poured into the narrow street in an attempt to choke us with sheer numbers. Nagakura's sword flickered and leapt, utterly unconcerned with any odds.
ゾロゾロと数だけは揃いやがって。死にてえやつからかかってきやがれ。
おとなしくそこのガキ差し出して命乞いでもすりゃよかったのによ。
やめとけよ知らぬい。これだけの乱戦じゃむやみに撃っても味方の被害が増えるだけだぜ。
狙いがつけられねえじゃねえか。役に立たねえ上に邪魔なんだよてめえら。
He kicked out furiously at a nearby Satsuma soldier who had had the misfortune to stumble into Shiranui's line of fire. This is just... wow. I knew Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke were skilled swordsmen, but I'd never seen them fight the way they did that night. Several of the Shinsengumi's soldiers made a wall around me, and I watched as the captains tossed foes aside like they were made of straw. Then, from across the battlefield, I heard Amagiri's basso rumble? His rumble!
単身私に挑んでくるとは勇気だけは褒めておきましょう。
あいにくこっちは人手不足でね。
1対1でも私に勝てなかったあなたがさらに不利なこの戦況で何をなそうというのです。
Even swords weren't enough to stop Amagiri's fists, and Heisuke, with his small frame, was driven back. The Satsuma pressed in, looking for an advantage. No, he's surrounded! Heisuke's plate distracted me from my own, which was a mistake I regretted almost immediately. Ah! Before I realized what was happening, two Satsuma soldiers burst through the Shinsengumi line, charging straight toward me. No one was close enough to intercept them, and I was nowhere near strong enough to fight off two men on my own. They were closer now. No time to dodge. I heard the wet slice of 2 blades cutting into human flesh. It doesn't hurt? When I looked up, the soldiers were dead. A sword pierced the chest of one straight through the heart, and the other had taken a wakizashi through the throat. I spun toward Heisuke across the street. His arms still extended from throwing his swords, he grinned at me. That fool, he'd never even stopped to consider if my life was worth his own.
見上げた度胸です。
Amagiri's fist moved horribly, painfully slow.
だが愚かだ。
Without his swords, Heisuke had no way to block, and his throw had left him no room to dodge. No! My ragged scream echoed across the battlefield. I'm sorry, my no was not quite ragged enough, but deal with it.
Heisuke! くそ！てめえらどけ！くそ！なんだこいつらの強さは！退却だ！引け！引け！
なんだ撤退かよ。今回は雑魚どものせいで銃も使えねえしな。しょうがねえな。
Harada's blade became a snarling, monstrous whirlwind of death, and before it, the Satsuma and their demon allies were pushed back until they finally withdrew. Not one of the guardians of the Imperial Tomb still stood. The streets of Aburano Koji ran red. My hands were smeared with red. The words Heisuke coughed out were red.
閉じちまった。
バカ、喋んな。やばい、傷が深すぎる。
Heisuke.
くそ！おい、ヘイスケ！こんなとこで死ねんじゃねえよ！
Was he really going to die? No, you can't die, Heisuke! I was shivering, but I reached out to wipe the blood desperately from his cheek.
お前のこと、もっと守ってやりたかったのにな。かっこ悪い。
No, Heisuke. I wasn't ever so important that you should have given your life to protect me.
大丈夫。心配すんなよ。
We ran through the night, Nagakura and Harada bearing Heisuke's bloody and beaten body back to the Shinsengumi. Every minute felt like an hour, and with every second my heart felt that much closer to tearing in half. The assassination of Ito and the destruction of the guardians of the Imperial Tomb was later known as the Aburano Koji incident. Both the Shinsengumi and guard were surprised by the sudden appearance of Satsuma troops and by the demons who accompanied them. Both parties had fallen for the Satsuma's trap, and the battlefield was thrown into confusion. During the fight, Heisuke was mortally wounded and had no choice but to drink the water of life and become a fury, or die. As the Battle of Aburano Koji was taking place, the headquarters of the Shinsengumi came under attack from a Chikage Kazama. The monstrous thing my father had made was slowly devouring the Shinsengumi. How long before the water of life swallowed them whole? Like 2 dudes not swallowing them, but we'll go with it. December 1867! What the hell is different with this text? Alright. Scarcely a month had passed since Aburano Koji. Saito and Heisuke had returned, but the Shinsengumi was hardly back to normal. A dark, tense atmosphere pervaded the compound. Many men had lost their lives in Kazuma's attacks. Even more had been injured during the attack at Aburano Koji. Among them was Heisuke. Several of the rank-and-file soldiers had seen him mortally wounded. He had looked as if he would not survive. For that reason, Heisuke was declared officially dead and made a member of the Fury Corps. Saito hadn't been wounded, but many among the common soldiers began to call him a coward. To them, he had left the Shinsengumi to join Ito, then betrayed his new master when he sensed a change in fortunes. I saw no reason why he shouldn't set them straight and say that he had never truly left the Shinsengumi, but he claimed he would rather stay silent than tarnish the honor of the commander and the chief who had ordered his actions. As such, it was decided that Saito would leave the compound until tempers had been allowed to cool. He was sent to stay at Tenma in order to protect Kyutaro Miura, an official of the Kishu domain. The night of the battle at Aburano Koji was a turning point for the Shinsengumi. For the men who didn't know the details, it was simply a battle against their former comrades, the guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Those better informed knew that the situation with the Satsuma and Choshu domains had changed, and that the assassination of Ryoma Sakamoto had been part of a much larger plan. Only the heads of the Shinsengumi knew the whole story, the activities of the demons and Heisuke's transformation into a fury. Such an important battle had stirred up the atmosphere in the compound, and for several days there were excited men everywhere, shouting and talking. Moments of silence were few and far between. I felt I would only be in the way if I was wandering around the grounds, so I did my best to stay in my room by myself. When had everything gone so wrong? Why had all of this happened? I turned those questions over and over in my mind, but found no answers.
部屋にいてくれましたか。外に出ていたらさすがに探し。
Oops, sorry. Sanna? But it's daytime. Are you sure you're all right?
ええ。これはまさに典型。これほどの妙案が思い浮かんではゆっくり寝ていることなどできませんよ。
Some nice ominous music going on. His eyes glittered with something, and even though he was smiling, I could feel the fingers of dread begin to poke at the base of my spine.
どうです。私の考えを聞いていただけますか。
It didn't really seem like a question, but I nodded anyway.
あなたは鬼です。
Hi. The words were sudden and unexpected.
そして鬼たちは戦闘力も生命力も人間よりはるかに強い。それは先日我々を襲撃した鬼たちの力を思い起こすまでもないことです。
What are you trying to say?
その強い力を持つ鬼、その鬼に流れる血はやはり人の血よりも強い力を持っているのではないでしょうか。あるいは羅刹の狂気を完全に抑える力があるかもしれません。
I didn't know how the water of life worked, but Sannan's explanation seemed logical, even if it was a bit manic. How can you know that for sure?
自らが羅刹となる前から、そして羅刹となってからも、薬についてずっと研究をしてきたのは私です。その私がたどり着いたこの考えが間違っているはずはないでしょう。少なくとも試してみる価値はあるはずです。この仮説が正しいことが証明されれば、それはとても素晴らしいことなのですから。あなたの存在で我々すべて羅刹隊、いや新選組のすべてを救うことができるのですよ。
Wait. Sannan's eyes had grown painfully sharp, and I almost thought I could hear the barest edge of madness to his voice.
さあ。
Calmly and purposefully, he drew his sword from its scabbard. There was no madness or bloodlust to his movements, and that only made them all the more terrifying.
怖がらなくていいですよ。私は何もあなたを殺そうというのではない。ただほんの少し血を分けてもらえるだけで良いのです。
Trust that face. I took a step back, too. Sandan and his sword came closer. He lifted it, and the steel blade shimmered in the light. I closed my eyes.
何やってんだ、三男さん。
ああ、土方君。ちょうどよかった。君も手伝ってください。
Hijikata? Hijikata walked slowly toward us, his hand drifting near the hilt of his sword. With calm purpose, he stepped between Sandan and I.
邪魔をするんですか。これは我々新選組にとって大きな一歩になるかもしれないんですよ。
もう一度聞く。何やってんだ、三男さん。
タイのために。羅刹の狂気を抑える方法を探っているんですよ。
そのためにこいつを切るってのか。
殺しはしませんよ。
Like, just let me volunteer. Don't just come at me with a sword, bro. The room was thick with tension, but I sensed no hatred from either Sannan or Hijikata.
多くの羅刹を失いました。羅刹でない一般の大使も同じく。今いる羅刹やこれから増やす羅刹をより有効に活用するには、狂気を抑える術を見出しておくことが必要不可欠です。そして羅刹を活用しなければ、今後の戦いは新選組にとってますます厳しいものとなる。私のしていることはすべて新選組のため。聡明な土方君にはお分かりいただけるでしょう。それでもなお雪村君には一滴の血も流させないと。
俺はそういうことを言ってるんじゃねえ。
ほう？
三男さん、総長ともあろう者が大気を破るつもりかい。人はご法度、知らねえはずはねえだろ。
ああ、なるほど。しかし雪村君は大使ではありませんが、それでもですか？
大使じゃねえがずっとここにいるんだ。いたようなもんだろうが。
ならば
Just ask me, Sannan. Just ask. With that, Sannan sheathed his sword. Hijikata watched him closely, his own hand still near his
今
sword.
日のところは引き下がりましょう。ですが、私の言ったことも少しは考えておいてください。
考えたって同じに決まってる。なんでこいつを切り刻んで血を取ったりしなきゃいけねえんだ。それにもし俺が許したって近藤さんが止めるに決まってるだろ。
まったく近藤さんも土方君も人事だからそうやって反対ばかり唱えるんでしょう。ですがもう羅刹は私だけではない。可愛い仲間のためにも少しは真剣に考えてほしいものです。
Those final words cut like a knife, deeper than anything he'd said before.
一ついいかい。
Hijikata's voice was strained, as if he were pulling it up from somewhere deep within his soul.
どうぞ。
三男さんの理屈は正しい。それは昔からずっと変わらないさ。三男さん、あんた自分自身が血に飢えてるとかそんなことじゃねえよな。自分が血を口にするためにその正しい孤理屈を並べ立ててるって、そんなくだらねえ話じゃ。
そんなわけはないでしょう。私は常に新選組のことを考えていますよ。では雪村君、また。
He smiled and ducked out of the room. Only after I'd heard his footsteps fade away down the hall did I begin to breathe again.
大丈夫か？
I saw him relax almost imperceptibly as he turned to look at me. The bowstring tight tension of a moment before was gone. Or at least mostly gone.
悪かったな。
No, thank you for helping me.
礼を言われるようなことじゃない。
But there was something I wanted to say to him, a question that had been on my mind for a while. For a moment, I thought perhaps now was the time to ask, but no, I shut my mouth.
なんだ?
Perhaps I was simply afraid of what his answer would be. Perhaps after hearing my question, he would no longer allow me to stay with the Shinsengumi. No, I couldn't stay with them forever. Nothing good would come of avoiding the issue. Best I simply face it. Still, I was afraid to ask.
俺もそんなに暇じゃないんだ。話があるならさっさとしろ。
I'd already drawn his attention and apparently his ire. There was no point to backing out now. Why do you keep protecting me like this?
お前は話を聞いていなかったのか？俺は別にお前を守ったわけじゃない。 大気を三男さんに守らせただけだ。だいたい三男さんだってお前を殺そうとはしてなかったんだろうが。
No, I don't mean just now. I mean all the other times. When Kazuma attacked us, everyone in the Shinsengumi put their lives on the line for me. All he wanted was me. You could have just given me up and he would have left you alone.
あいつらは薩長の一味だ。敵が来たら戦って倒すのは当たり前のことだろうが。
I had to admit, that did seem reasonable.
それに、お前は光道さんの娘だからな。光道さんを探し出すのにお前は必要だ。そんなこと最初から知っていただろう。
Yes, but that was a long time ago. Things have changed. I don't think finding my father is going to be enough to resolve the situation anymore.
お前のことを守ると言って預かったんだ。守らねえでどうする。武士に二言はねえ。状況が変わったからって初めの話をコロコロ覆すようなやつは武士じゃねえんだ。
Even I knew he was only using my father as an excuse, but I had a feeling that if I pointed that out directly, he'd get angry. Still, that he would make excuses like this and let me stay and keep me safe, it could only mean that Hijikata and the Shinsengumi had finally accepted me. That thought was like a ray of light, pushing away the doubt I'd felt only moments before. But I needed to be careful not to get carried away. ...
おい、黙り込んでどうした？
If they had accepted me, then I wanted to help. I wanted to do something. Then again, what could I possibly do? I couldn't fight. I didn't have any special knowledge aside from a little secondhand medicine. I was more of a burden than an asset, if I was honest with myself. What was I going to do? I think it's this one. Yep. I don't know what the difference is, or why, whatever, but either way, I'll stay here. I wanted to help, but perhaps it really was best if I simply stayed put. After all, what could I possibly do? Thank you, Hijikata. I think it's probably best if I just stay here. Please let me know if you need anything.
ああ、そうだな。それがいいだろう。
I watched his back disappear through the door. ... I felt I should honor my word and stay in my room for a day, at least, but it was awfully dull to just sit there with nothing to do all by myself. Hey!
部屋にいたか。
お前がいてくれてよかったぜ。このまま佐野と二人だけはもう飽き飽きだからな。
飽き飽きなのはこっちも一緒だぜ。
Is there something wrong?
話し相手になってもらおうと思ったよ。何しろ話をできる相手がいねえんだ。
What do you mean? There are people everywhere.
悪いな。完全な愚痴なんだ。だから話す相手がいねえんだよ。
そもそも近藤さんや土方さんがいけねえんだ。
ああ、いきなり始めちまいやがった。
羅刹隊なんだよ。あんなもんをいつまで続けるつもりなんだ。まったくよ。
So, Nagakura had something to get off his chest about the Fury Corps. Now I understood why they couldn't talk about it with anyone. The people who knew about it were the people they blamed, and it was a secret to everyone else.
本当、巻き込んですまね
えな。そりゃ俺だって平助に死んでほしいわけじゃねえけどよ。 でもだからってあんな方法で生かすなんてのは残酷だと思わねえか？
Well, yes, I suppose.
切った張ったをやってるんだ。相手を切ることもありゃ自分が切られちまうことだってある。そんなことはみんな承知の上で腰に大小ぶら下げてんだよ。だからってここはよ。
お前の気持ちもわかるけどよ。ちょっと言い過ぎじゃねえか。 羅刹になったやつもお前と同じように何か言いたいことはあるだろうけどな。近藤さんや土方さんだってまあいろいろ考えてやってんじゃねえかな。
なんだ佐野。 お前もあの腐った計画に賛成なのか?
Nagakura was getting more and more agitated. It looked as if letting off some steam was about to turn into a full-fledged argument.
んなこと言ってねえだろ。ただ新八よ。ちいと落ち着いた方がいいんじゃねえか。人の火を鳴らしてばっかりいたってあんまりいいことはないからよ。
話になんねえな。
Damn. Nagakura leapt up and stormed out through the door, fuming. Oh no, should I,
あり、驚かせちまったよな。まあ、あいつも悪いやつじゃないんだ。
Yes, I know that, but...
いいやつだからこそ、いろいろと許せないことが多いんだろうな。
A good man who just couldn't bring himself to agree with something that felt wrong to him. On some level, at least, I knew what that was like.
まあ、いいやつにとって許せないことが多いってことは、それだけこの新選組がおかしくなってるのかもしんねえな。特に三男さんはな。俺の目から見たって明らかにおかしくなってきてるからな。お前もそう思わねえか?
I swallowed. Yes, I'd seen it all too well. Even the memory of it made my blood run cold. It didn't feel right to tell Harada about it, though, so I tried to shift the conversation to something else. Harada, what do you think about the Furies?
そうだな。どうって改まって聞かれると困るけどよ。さっき新八が言っていたこともわかる。でもよ、羅刹って言わずに平助のことを考えりゃ。薬を飲んだ後何度か話したけどよ。別にあいつらは何一つ変わっちゃいない。話して、動いて、笑って、冗談言って。とりあえず生きてりゃ楽しいことはたくさんあるからな。
Have fun, huh?
なんだ? おかしなことを言ったか?
No, it just really sounds like you. But yes, you're right. You can't have fun if you aren't alive.
ああ、生きてりゃ楽しいことはある。だけど、あいつら表向きは死んだことになってるからな。
His voice hadn't changed, but it sounded somehow hollow now.
大手を振って外を出歩くことすらできねえ。それに昼間はまともに動けなくなっちまったしな。ましてや血に狂ったら見境なく人を襲う悪鬼になっちまう。死んだ方がマシって思う時の方が。
He gave a short bark of dry laughter at how neatly he'd contradicted himself. So long as you were alive, there was hope. But what could there be for the Furies? Were they even truly alive anymore? I understood at least a little of the helplessness Harada was feeling.
もう生きていないってことにした人間を切り合いのために生かしておく。あいつらは切り合いのためだけに存在してるのか。それ以外には価値がないってのか。
Existential crisis. What could I have possibly said to that? A thick silence settled over the room, and I glanced over at Harada's profile. I'd always seen him as somewhat aloof, or perhaps carefree was a better word, separate from worldly cares. It had seemed as if nothing could bring him down. But now I could see that was only the surface. Far below, in his heart, churned passion, concern, and fear.
新八が羨ましいよ。あんな風に怒れる方がまだしもまともってもんだ。
You and Nagakura are worried about your friends. I don't really know that he's more normal. You just deal with it differently.
そうかな。
Yes, of course I do. It wasn't like I had anything to support my argument, but it felt right, so I smiled and nodded emphatically.
俺はあいつらに何かしてやれるのかな。羅刹になった仲間たちによ。救ってやるなんておこがましいけど、何かしてやりてえよな。
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to do either. We fell silent then, thinking on what we might be able to do. The air grew heavy, and we sat in that room for what seemed like an eternity. The Shinsengumi, once solid, now wavered. What would happen to them? What would happen to the Fury Corps? Men were forced to watch as their friends became the undead monsters known as Furies. Was it any wonder that they found themselves conflicted, or that tempers began to rise? Several days later, the order was given to begin the imperial restoration. The emperor would be restored to power, and his court would once again rule the nation. The position of shogun would be abolished, and Kyoto's military and judiciary commissioner positions would be eliminated. All that the Shinsengumi had fought for and believed in was falling to pieces. I think that's where we end tonight, because that was the end of chapter 3. Hey, look, they showed me what's his... Oh, okay, trophy. They showed me Harada's profile because he's the one I've got the romanced enough. Oh boy. That was kind of long, but we got through it, didn't we? Yes, we did. Beep, 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 beep. Let me save. Yes. Alright, so chapter 3 is done. Chapter 4 is next. We're saving system data. Just have a good look at that good old title screen. Anyway, so there you go. Thank you for joining me for this week's, whatever, the video. Next week's Wednesday is actually Valentine's Day, which you'd think would be perfect for doing an otome game walkthrough, let's play, whatever I'm doing. It may or may not happen, because I have dinner plans, with, my husband. So, we'll see. If we finish dinner early, I'll come back and then also spend some time otome gaming it up. But if not, then we'll get to it the next week. So, we'll get to Harada. We're going to finish it. There's only, I think, 5 or 6 chapters in total for this game per character. And we're almost done with Harada's route, so we'll definitely get through it in the next month or so, I think. Anyway, thanks for listening tonight, and, or watching this whenever you're watching it. Thank you for giving me the time, and thank you for liking Hakuoki. Oh god! What have I done? I don't want a copyright strike. Stop! Sorry. On that exciting note, I'm gonna end this stream and end this video. So thank you, and see you for chapter 4.